When you started your first few, did you ever think that, wow, 500, that's a lot?
Alright guys, welcome back to Daytona Beach in Florida. Today Michael wants to do a special because this should be around the 500 vlog that I do on the channel. We had many series, many things that we did in the past, but 500 like travel vlog being in different places. So I'll let Michael kind of go with that and do whatever he wants to do with it. He's going to ask me a question about whatever topic, and then we'll just do that. So you guys can comment below in the comment section if you have any thoughts or any follow-up question on this, and I'll be happy to answer them after. But let's get going with that. Michael, go ahead.
You're giving me free reign here. Oh boy, be careful with that. First of all, congratulations on Desire to Trade and your whole enterprise on your 500th milestone. And I think it's 200th podcast, right?
Yeah, we've crossed 200, yeah.
Did you ever think that was gonna, when you started your first few, did you ever think that, wow, 500, that's a lot?
I just thought about like starting out and then doing it consistently. That's all I thought about. So the numbers add up, of course, over time, but yeah. Just like want to do one, then the second one, and I didn't have like a target amount or whatever.
But it's not like people are just sending you 500 emails saying, please, interview me. There's a lot of work behind that. We'll talk about the editing in a minute, but just getting people, a lot of people are open to talk and stuff, but just reaching out and, tell us about some of the challenges with that. I'm sure there had to be follow-up, especially guests that you really wanted to have in your podcast.
Yeah, there's been a few guests that I followed up with a few times, like several times even. People like, I remember, I think Mike Belafiri had to send like 30 emails.
Yeah, Bella.
Yeah, Bella, yeah.
Nice guy.
That took a while, but it's all about like, if you want to do it, you gotta be providing them value first, and then you gotta ask, and then if you don't get an answer, like I always take like, I want to get an answer, like either a yes or a no, but not like a no answer. So that's just, so follow up and emails, and that's fine.
By the way, Bella, I'm sure he talked about it. He has two phenomenal, I'm not a big trader book reader.
Yeah.
He has two phenomenal books. I had a beer with Bella at a Trader Expo with at the Money Show, the Trader Expo, and with the founder of the Money Show. And he was talking about, well, I'm writing the draft for this book. I want it to be special. It turned out to be like One Good Trade.
Yeah.
Which is one of like the best trading books ever. So yeah, and Bella's an interesting character. But it's tough to get the. Not that they don't want to talk. They also want to promote what they're doing, and they have businesses, but they're just busy, and it's great. And again, it takes action for you to reach out and follow up. And who was another one that was a Jack? It was someone that you really like. I really want this guy on, and I got him. Me?
Yeah.
I was like, Mike, you want to do a pod? Okay. Yeah, mine was easy.
Now, those are people that I thought about that I wanted to have. So all these authors that I read their books, I wanted to interview them after. So I'm thinking about Van Tharp was a big one.
Sure.
I'm thinking about, there's Steve Ward who wrote Trader Mind. There was a few other that I really want to talk with them. There was Brent Penfold. Brent Penfold was a guy where I kind of read his book. I thought his book was different from everyone else. So I said, he's even a good guy. And it really took a while.
Actually, you bring up a good point. A lot of your podcasts, and even just your regular trading videos, they really cover a big range. They're not just traders. You had an algo developer on a few times, and I learned more. I think just as much from the non-trader specific, show me your setup kind of podcast. And I noticed that as you developed, as you got towards the increase, and you've branched out. And I don't even know if you know this. You've branched out in your themes. It's not just about trader interviews and things. You really branched out, which is, and it kind of reflects what's happening in your career, I think.
Yeah. So first I thought about, I need to reach out to traders, because I want to become a better trader myself. I want to get better. And that's good until a point. So you get better, but then are you going to always talk about setup and stuff? And setup help you out to kind of develop when you start out, because you need a setup to trade, of course. You take different people, you learn from them, you apply from them. But then once you have your setup and stuff, then you cannot learn from setup. You hear setup, it's it's interesting, but then you won't use it. Yeah. So you need something else to be able to grow and become better. And that's where tools come in, that's where automation come in, that's where mindset comes in. That's where all these things are helpful. And
you've really explored that, and you can see and also just personally, I'll just tell you personally, I've seen your growth as an interview, the questions you ask, and then in the beginning I've watched them and that's interesting, tell us about yourself, and after a while you're asking questions that's the answer. That's the question I would have asked. It's really good. So
awesome.
Again, congratulations. And of course, in addition to the podcast, the 500 videos you have from how many countries is it now?
28.
28. right. And one thing I've noticed is, and this has changed now, right? Because United States was not on that list as far as the trading.
So yeah, so that's a good point.
About?
That's a good point. So basically, when I did my list of countries I traveled to, I came with the aspect of only doing traveling and trading. So only countries I've actually traded in. So when I was there and trading. So United States, I've been there a few times, but many years back, and I wasn't trading back then. Same thing with Japan, same thing with Korea, same thing with Taiwan. I've been there after.
Yeah.
But there's a few countries that I've been to, Costa Rica too, where I wasn't trading back then. So I don't count them in my list. But they're countries I traveled to, but not countries that I've traded in.
Interesting. Okay, well, you know, I'll give make a trade today because you got to get US.
Now I'll be able to do the US because I had some trade going on when I was here. So US is going to be added to the list soon.
Good. Yeah, I mean, I see your list and I see the countries that you've done your videos in and stuff, and you know, we're traveling traders basically. Yeah. But I look at your list and I go, boy, I have my work cut out for me. This is like, you know, this is nothing. So I'm very envious in the fact that you've accomplished so much in so much time, and yeah, obviously you develop a team at your group, Desire to Trade, and you know, I'm really thrilled to be a part of it. Not just on the content side, but you know, getting involved in some other things and more to come down the road. So, yeah. So when you do, what are the things that I mean, you got a nice backdrop here. This is pretty cool in Daytona Beach, Florida. But I noticed, you know, you try to mix it with content, but I like the food stuff. I mean, you know, you break it up in the middle of a really good education, and then you're showing us like you're having dim sum in Thailand or something. How cool is that? Tell us about it.
Yeah, that's a cool thing. That was a while back. So the fact that, and people don't know maybe, but I really like to cook. I like to cook food, and I like to try food and kind of learn how it's done and stuff. So that's kind of a passion of mine with trading, with traveling, with videos, with everything. Yeah, so kind of one of them.
I mean, you know, 500. I mean, obviously, you know, something about technology, camera settings, and things like that.
I don't.
No, you don't.
I really don't.
That makes two of us Dumb and Dumber over here. What are some of the challenges in just getting? I mean, obviously, the editing must be a real. You're in a beautiful location, and here sitting in a hotel room, you got to be doing editing or something.
Yeah. So that was a problem until I outsourced it. So now I have someone in my team doing it, which really saves a lot of time and a lot of frustration and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I wouldn't go back to it ever.
How long does it take to like edit, you know, 5-10 minute video or something? Like one that has a lot of cuts and stuff.
It would take me about like 5 hours to be able to edit, create a thumbnail, upload, yeah, all these things.
Wow, that's amazing for like a normal 8-minute video, 10 minute.
8 minutes.
That's incredible.
Yeah, it's part of it.
Yeah, no, that's. And how about, like, I mean, the music you have backdrop? There's a lot of things that I think viewers, and including myself, didn't really realize. There's a lot. Like now you have to put music to the background some areas, or you'll cut to, you'll be talking, but you'll cut to a scene like a beautiful beach or something, and that's not easy. That stuff. I mean, I guess it's a lot of work.
It's easy, but it takes a long time, and you gotta learn. So I started basically editing with no skills, and I didn't learn at all anything before that. Just started kind of put clips together and edit that. And that was fun, but so these were videos that took me maybe like an hour to edit, because I was like just throwing everything on the clip and that's it. But then over time you kind of want to get like fancier, better. You want to kind of be more polished,
right?
And that's where kind of time adds up pretty fast.
Interesting. It's you know, I look at you look at the video and you know, sometimes you just bang it out and maybe you're doing something else while watching it. You don't realize all the stuff that goes behind it and stuff like that. And you know, I love it. But keep doing the food stuff. I love it. It's like a nice break and stuff. Like, what is he going to have today and stuff like that. So, especially in the great countries and stuff. All right, so let's talk about some of the really cool video guests that you had on too.
Sure.
Let me give you some of my top 5. Okay, it's like pelicans up here. So beautiful. Come join us. Let's talk about Navin.
Yeah.
Navin, great. He seems like a great guy. Really good business savvy mindset. Tell me about him.
Yeah, Navin is someone that I look up to quite a lot for the fact that I'm doing now a lot of the things that he did like a few years ago. So it's kind of funny. So I first met him in Bangkok like many years ago, and I didn't know he was there. So I reached out to him by email, and then I had his assistant reach out to me or reply to me saying, "Oh well, Navin is in Bangkok, so if you're here, you can like do an interview with him in Bangkok." I said, "That's kind of nice." And then every time since I go back to Bangkok, I always meet him like every time. We hang out for a few hours and stuff. We talk business, trading, and everything around. So it's really
comes across. I mean, and this business has a lot of, I don't know, just a lot of salespeople. Everybody, you know, there's a business, there's other revenue streams, but he just comes across as just I'm here to help. Like
Navin is the guy that first want to have a big impact. Sure. Yeah, positive impact. So it's goals to kind of build the best education site. And he's on the way to do it for sure.
He's a real deal. I've learned from him, and it looks like you've learned not just from a trading but a business perspective too.
Of course.
Let's talk about it real quick. I'll put on my list. Houston from Montreal. Let's throw Houston. He brings to me. He has like a behavioral science background to trading, which, to be honest, is a lot of times, maybe a lot of viewers just click, fast forward, show me the setups. But he makes it interesting.
Yeah.
It's really fascinating. I've actually had the opportunity to trade with him in Montreal and his kind of rituals and routines, and I'm like, this is either bizarre or I need to step up my game. And I clearly realized I need to step up my game. So he's thanks to Houston.
Well, Houston is so he has like two things that I find important for me. It's the fact that it's like pretty much the first trader that I met in Montreal, like the very first person, and through the meetup and everything that he organized. And then the second thing is that, he has like an aspect of like peak performance that I never thought about before. I was like, I just want to trade, but I never got introduced to that aspect of like performance and peak performance, how to get better, how to tweak your mindset and stuff. I didn't know about it before. So he brought this to me, and I'm really grateful for it.
That's great. And again, you've explored a lot of the behavioral and psychological elements of trading, which cannot be understated. I mean, it's just so important. And that kind of segues into Mandi, which brings, she's like the queen of psych. And again, another person where she connected with me, and in an area where, I'll be honest with you, I was kind of, at the beginning of my career, was kind of like a waste of time. But she just brings it out, and she articulates it in an area where I can understand it.
Yeah.
How is she like in an interview?
Yeah, it's the same for me. So it's the person that I feel is talking about mindset and psychology, but like in a tactical way. Nothing like the fluff that, just believe in yourself. But in the sense of like, how do you actually become better? What things you have to look at? And of course, like, you cannot do everything yourself. You gotta have a coach, and we understand that. But it's about kind of what you think and what you believe in, and what happened in the past impacts how you behave today, and that's really interesting.
It kind of opens up where I think when you get like a psychological coach, and she's part of the Desire to Trade team too, she brings it to where like you learn a lot about trading and how to manage your trading, but when they start getting into, I'm going to apply that to my life, that's like really cool. The whole bit. I have a little like trader crush on Mandi, I think. She's just great. Every time she comes on, I'm just like the first one on that. Now, probably you can't get more 180 degree turn from Mandi to Jerremy Newsome.
Yeah, Jerremy Newsome. Yeah.
What a character! What a great entrepreneur mindset.
Yeah, I would say they are similar. And Jerremy Newsome was introduced to me by Mandi, by the way. That's interesting. But yeah, Jerremy Newsome is more about. He's also the mindset, the money aspect of like how to change your mindset about money to be able to make more money, which is like I think pretty cool.
Yeah.
So I learned a lot from him about that. And plus, just the motivation, like the kick you need sometimes to kind of get things done.
Yeah.
That's from Jerremy. So
I can go to the gym or watch a couple of his videos, and it's the same outcome. I kind of get very entrepreneurial excited. We have other businesses and revenue streams and things like that. We could talk about it another time. But like he is sort of, he makes that marriage of trading is part of a bigger thing.
Yeah.
And it's great, and you just listen to him, and it just like you almost don't want it to end, and stuff like that.
He's almost like he's almost like the Tony Robbins of trading.
Yeah,
in a sense.
He is. He has this sort of. He doesn't come across as brazen. Certainly not. But you know what? He comes across as confident. And so if you want to look at it cocky, it's not. He's just full of confidence, full of energy. And he's Tony Robbins. Oh boy, he's gonna trade that mark. Don't publish the video until you trademark that one. I love it. God, that's great. And last, how could you not have a conversation in 500th video without Karen Fu? Now, there's a trader was he from Taiwan, Thailand? Singapore. I wish I had someone like that as a coach earlier in my career, because she just has this spunk to her. Well, you tell me. She comes across as just with this force, knows what she's talking about. She can articulate it, but she does it with like a soft voice. But boy, I don't want to get on the wrong side of her, because she'll get her. That's what you need as a coach. You need someone to like really be one and say, no, don't do this or do this. Tell us about Karen.
Yeah, so
you've had her a few times.
Yeah, a few times. So I met her a few times in Singapore. Did an interview first also online, and she's really good at what she does. So she's the type of person that's more about like the hustle, putting in the work, sleeping less to be able to work hard and stuff. And I agree with this partially. So part of me, when I was beginning, like that's what I needed. Like you said, that I needed to kind of sleep less, go at my job, work all day, and then work on trading to become better, to improve myself. Today, I'm less of that. I'm more into the kind of freedom part, being able to, because like I want to be able to sleep 8 hours, have a good like sleep, be healthy, and still trade and make a living and still make a lot of money. Yeah. So now I'm seeing this way. But before, I was definitely on like the sleepless side and stuff, and the hustle and everything, which is fine. Some people like that, but yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, it's great. I'd love to meet her one time.
Yeah,
it'd just be great. So I mean, really, we're shooting this live off the cuff and stuff, and I have no prepared questions, but it seems like you've learned a lot. Like, I mean, you're doing this obviously for your content, and it's part of your business, but it seems like you've learned just as much out of this as like the viewers.
Yeah, of course, and I learn a lot more than the viewers sometimes. I think when you're there live with someone and you talk and you ask questions, I think that's my way of thinking, but I think you learn more than if you listen to it.
Yeah.
So
I agree.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of a junkie with your videos. I've watched them sometimes. Like I've watched Raggy Horner.
Yeah.
Raggy Horner. Another, and I've spoken on the same circuit with her and stuff. She's the real deal. And she was a Forex person, and she's got into futures and things like that. But again, just someone who I think you did one video way back in the early part of your video, but it just I think I've watched that 8 times, where she just like packs so much in like a 30-minute segment. So just check that one out if you haven't watched on Raggy's. But it's interesting. I think so. You hit the milestone. Anything you want to do differently in the future, or you just you want to keep that? Is it more of a freedom angle, or is it like strategy? Tell us about what you think your vision for the future.
Definitely freedom. I want to be able to have a bigger impact. Of course, it's my goal. It's been like the goal for the past 4 years to have a positive impact on people, and the bigger the impact, the better. So definitely that. I'll keep doing something that I trade, of course, the swing trading.
Yeah.
I want to kind of test things out, like we talked about yesterday. You told me about option. I was kind of interested in that a little bit. Maybe branch out to option, see how it's done, or go on low time frame.
Dare you enter my world? Oh boy!
But now that there's the algo running, the thing is that you can trade on any time frame you want.
Yeah.
So I want to kind of see how low time frame work, how you can adapt it to low time frame and stuff, and still have freedom. That's the goal. So if you can have freedom and trade on low time frame, that's fine.
Yeah, I mean, I think the video content. We're trying to wrap this up. The video content really really summarizes your vision as what you want as your life.
Yeah.
It's and again, like a lot of it's content, but I've sent videos to non-traders just say, hey, check this out, and it's just like, that was pretty cool. Like I said, just if you don't pass by the trading stuff, don't go too crazy with the terminology. Listen to what Mandi said about how to handle this situation and stuff.
Awesome.
And so I mean, I don't know if you realize that you've kind of you've had an impact on people beyond trading, and that's pretty cool. And that's really part of the freedom lifestyle. It's not just about setups, stops, and targets. Right?
Yeah. And one thing I wrote in my plan, because I have like this one page, like this one kind of vision page that I have with me all the time, pretty much. And one thing I wrote on this at the beginning of the year is, I want people to turn into my content. That's number 1, instead of watching TV. That's my goal. If people can do this, and that's what you're telling me now, kind of similar, that's the ultimate dream for me. That's awesome.
I mean, they'll certainly get a lot more out of it than doing some of the crap that's on TV.
Yeah.
For sure. So 500. Okay, you got more, and what are some of the visions as you as a professional, whether it's trading or a business owner, with desire to trade? What are some of the things? What are some of the things you want to use your content to kind of reach out to people and get them engaged?
I want to be able to, because like the thing with so many interviews is that people can get confused. Like you watch all these people online, they all do different things. So we need to kind of, and that's my job. I need to work on that more. I need to kind of find a way to use that content a little bit more, but in a way that's going to kind of filter and make a path, a step-by-step process to kind of ultimately get people to more freedom. So like, it's good to coach people and stuff, but we got to be there with them and stuff. But what if we could create like a path, like do this, do that, and step by step, until they get to like really quitting their job, traveling and stuff, and they get more freedom. So I need to kind of work on that path. And so far it's been good. People have been able to do that in the academy and stuff. Yeah. So we just need to do more of that.
Yeah, I mean, I participate in your mastermind sessions and things, and I get to see the traders, and it's good. I mean, we try to make this easy and sort of step by step, but it's a lot more to that. There's dynamics going all the way through, and now you throw in like presidential tweets and stuff. And so, but there's a dynamic where it's hard. As much as we try to do it, it's a really challenging. It's almost impossible to do it. And then you throw in the risk management piece. I mean, it's a little rough, but it's not cookie cutter sometimes. So we try to move in that direction, and I'm glad that you're doing that. But I think I think your videos kind of really connect to a lot of people in different ways, and I think you almost don't want it to be too cookie cutter, because different people have different styles, different things, different lifestyles, different definitions of freedom, and I think you really bring that to light. So, anything else you want to add on your accomplishment? What are you most proud of, as far as as far as your business?
I think it's not the business part. It's the personal development part. The fact that I went from not being able to do any videos, like being shaky when holding the camera, to being able to do videos like almost every day. For me, that's something big.
Would you be the trader that you are if it wasn't for your work? I don't think I wouldn't be. I mean,
no, probably not.
Because we talked about how you almost like one of the first things when you develop as a trader is get to know other traders, talk to other traders, and really by doing your videos, that's what you're doing in a sense. You've talked to 500 other traders, or the 200 in the podcast, in a way that you're like, when I talk to other traders at an expo or something like that, or on chat, you're doing a video about it, which is.
I think that it's really hard to develop yourself a lot if you don't surround yourself with traders. Like you develop yourself more when you're around people. And like for example, like how would I think about, let's say, trading option if I never meet you? I never meet someone trading option. I will like research and come up with this by myself. Probably not. So if you just that's the thing, if you just travel and stay on the beach and trade and have fun, then that's good. But how do you actually improve? How do you grow as a trader? And the answer is you won't. So you got to combine everything.
It's true. I think it's such an important part. And traders, some people by definition may be a little introverted and stuff and don't like to get out and stuff. But
I'm introverted.
I'm president of the friggin' association. So So I mean, that's I think it's important to do it. And in any business, you want to be successful. Ask Jerremy. I mean, you got to take leaps of faith. You got to kind of break out of that comfort zone and stuff, whether it's trading and it's part of it.
The other thing I want to say is in everything you do, it doesn't matter how you start, because I started being pretty bad at podcasts, pretty bad at videos, but as long as you're willing to kind of put it out there, do something, and you do it all the time, you will improve. Same thing with trading. You can be the worst trader ever when you start, but as long as you kind of do things over time and you improve, you'll become better.
And I'm sure there were nights where you're just like, I'm not going to be doing this editing. There's a party down on the main street in time, whatever you are, and different country, and you're like, no, I got to edit this. That just separates really the successful, not the ones who just take that little, no, I got to do this tonight, the whole bit. So that's great. We talked about the videos. We talked about maybe some of the top 5. By the way, those top 5, how about this one? They're the dream team of Desire to Trade. They're the dream team. They're these are the ones that think they bring all different elements and stuff. It's fantastic. That's great. Well, congratulations. It's a tremendous milestone, really. I mean, not too many traders. I don't know of anyone who's done that, and also reflects the lifestyle and done it in so many different places. And that's obviously going to continue, right?
Of course.
In fact, you're leaving here and you're probably heading back to Asia, right? So that's great. So congratulations. Good luck.
Thank you.
I will speak on behalf of not just the person who's someone who's been part of your content, also part of your team to help your members, but really just as a viewer, we're excited about it. We love it, and it's good to have a following that it's not just a YouTube count. It's like your comments, the people that comment and stuff, they're really into it and they're really engaged. And I know you know it, but I hope you really see
some people are really smart
into
too.
it. And keep up the great work. Very proud, and we will look forward to 501. Go get them. Go get them.
Awesome. Congrats. And thank you for being part of the team, of course, and actually helping people in the academy as well. That's awesome. I think people need that to the organization part, being able to kind of structure things and kind of I think you're good at helping people scale up, go from where they are to where they want to be, progressively. So I think that's really good.
And that will continue. There's more content coming
awesome.
That way, and that because your members and your viewers have said we want more of that. How do I build my content? So we'll do more.
And thank you guys for being here. We appreciate you once again. Comment below with your thoughts as always in the comment section. Leave a comment, leave a thought, leave whatever you want, and subscribe if it's not done yet. We'll catch you back here pretty soon. And here are a few comments from the past video. We appreciate you for your comment as always. So comments are there, and we'll see you soon. Ciao.